podcast, man, hit that like button, comment below, subscribe if you got the time. We appreciate that. Loving for this. Let's get straight into it because it's going to be a real quick one tonight. We just wrapped up our other live stream, going over the quick resumes of, Terrence Bud Crawford, Canelo Alvarez. And we decided, hit the live fight chat, you know, hit our other platform and hit it real quick, real fast for you guys and wrap this thing up as we just saw the, I don't know why I have a difficult time always saying that, last press conference for Crawford, Canelo. This thing is finally done, signed, sealed, and delivered. The only thing left now is, obviously the weigh-in and then fight night, September 13, 2025, Saturday. Can't get here quick enough. We're going to see a great display of boxing. Two gentlemen get it going on for us and really deliver for us. A true good night of entertainment, shall I say. Quick wrap up over what we took away from the final press conference, as they say. I saw confidence in both men. I saw high confidence in both men. I saw focus from both men. They're truly focused on where they want to go, where they want to be. I think both men are taking this fight serious. Shout out to Canelo Alvarez for showing up in not just a wife beater, but in the black one. Black, meaning he's standing on business. He's ready to go. He showed off that he's in shape, been in shape. I mean, we're not surprised. Canelo's a true professional, but he came out just ready for anything. Came out and showed that he's a real one. Hey, what's going on, Lamar? Canelo came out and showed he's a real one, man. Black wife beater, all ready to go, dressed up with the slacks. He could have fought right then and there. Terrence Bud Crawford, same thing. He looked good. He looked ready to go. Both men tonight look focused in that final press conference. Now, one thing it also clarified for me is why Crawford is in his career. He's not really TV friendly. Certain things he said was a little, it was hard for him to say. It's just not him. It's not his style. You can tell he's just a true fighter, almost like an introvert, if you want to be honest with me. That's just where his career went. He's not been so famous, right? And somebody earlier said, okay, why is it, if Crawford's so good, why did it take him so long to get recognized? And to this fight, this is what's boosting him up, right? Well, if you watch the press conference tonight, that's exactly why his career took so long and took this route. It took this route because the brother is not TV friendly. He is a true fighter. This is not his thing. He's not witty. He doesn't dress all fashionable, and that's okay. Lucky enough for us, this is the sport of boxing. This is the fighting game. This ain't a popularity contest. Both of these men are true fighters, true warriors. Canelo, he's blessed with both. Gift of gab, looks good, fits the part, and throws hands in the ring and lets his skills talk. So he is the face of boxing. That's why he's the face of boxing he is today. Crawford is just a skilled fighter, good fighter. Not a great mouthpiece outside the ring, but he let his hands talk inside the ring. But it speaks to why he is here in this fight, because his skills paid the bills and got him here. Speaks how good he is. So September 13, 2025. Hey, Willow, what's going on? September 13, 2025, we're going to see a great show. Like I said, if you read the title, final predictions, resume breakdown. We're going to go through the resumes real quick. We just jumped off our other stream going through those, but we'll break those down real fast, real quick for everybody and kind of give you what we're going to get at, right? It's going to be an overall summary, right? We're going to talk about the punchers they faced on an average. So what type of punching power they face. So we always keep hearing about this chin and all that, who can get knocked out. We're going to say who faced good punching power. And then on the last thing, skill set, winning records for the competition phase. We'll hit that real fast. And again, that final prediction. Actually, I'm going to reverse that. We're going to do final prediction first. Let you guys know how we're getting down. I know a few of you have been following us. So before we get into it, hit that like button. It's free. Comment below. Subscribe if you got the time. It's your boy Kaz Wrote Sunday Podcast. We're going to get straight into this thing. Our final prediction. If you've been following us for the past week or so, and kind of getting down to where we've been at, right? We've done a lot of keys to victory over the last month and a half of how both fighters can win. We've dropped about 4 videos each for both fighters, Canelo Alvarez, Terence Crawford. Check those out. Keys to victory about how either fighter can win this fight multiple ways. For Terence Crawford, we said it's going to start with the jab to the body, make Canelo reset, and obviously with the footwork, move around, angle. For Canelo Alvarez, it's actually going to be establishing the hook on both sides and stopping the momentum of Crawford and angling him and cornering him. With that said, our final prediction here, before we get down into the resume breakdown for both of these fighters to actually explain why we're here, our final prediction is based on this. Both of these fighters have a lot of ways to win. I can't see either fighter losing this fight. There's too much skill set. There's too much on the table for both of these men. They're two clear professionals. Hey, Mitch, what's going on? Yeah, I can't wait either. I can't wait for that bell to ring. It's going to be a good one. And speaking of when that bell rings, I think we're going to see the highest display of boxing that we have seen in the past few years. Both of these men are going to lay it on the line. Too much in their tool bag. Too much skills we're going to see displayed. We got to put some respect on Canelo Alvarez's name. He's not just power, guys. He's not just power. Canelo Alvarez is a high ring IQ fighter. Knows how to position himself in the ring, know where to throw the punches at, knows how to get to his man, especially ones that want to at least fight and engage and not run. High IQ fighter. I think we're going to see a good display from him on how to truly box. And the same thing for Terence Crawford. We already know his skill set. We know how he can move. We know how he can get down. We're going to see a chess match between both of these fighters, which brings us to our final prediction. Because we're going to see this skill set, too many ways to win. Hit that like button, it's free. Comment below, subscribe if you got the time. We've already bet this, and we're rocking with it. We're standing with it. Final prediction for this fight, we got actually going to be a draw. It's going to be a draw in this case for us because, again, the skill level is too high. When you ever seen a fight of this magnitude where the skill level is just equal, but not just equal, but at a high caliber of equal, we're talking 2 pound-for-pound fighters right now. 2 greats. Both of them have good hearts. You know, neither one of these men have been proven to be just chinny, right? I can't see either fighter just getting knocked down, getting knocked out. The heart of champions, the heart of warriors, like these 2 men are going to carry themselves through. Whether either one of them get hurt, I just can see them working through that hurt, working through that fight, and making it to the final bell and pushing all the way through and at least seeing all 12. They're going to balance out this fight. And I'm not going to go round by round because we covered that a little earlier. The first 3 rounds are going to go to Crawford more than likely, maybe in 4. He's going to box well. He's going to box smart. He's going to stay disciplined. He's going to use that jab to the body, make Canelo Alvarez reset his hands. Canelo Alvarez has a bad habit of resetting his hands, especially when he's jabbed. And more importantly, jab to the body. He's usually trying to counter. That's why he drops his hands to reset, to try to catch his man in mid-jab. As he's resetting, throwing them hands or resetting his power, I expect Crawford to kind of let off, kind of get off and get some points in those first few rounds. Middle of the fight, 4 through 6, 4 through 7. Canelo's going to change the game plan and start punching while moving. While he's punching while moving to get to his man to corner him in the neutral corners or against the ropes. He's going to lose a little bit of power because he usually sticks with that wide stance to deliver certain shots, deliver certain power shots to his opposition. He's going to stick with that to try to catch his man and catch Crawford off guard. And as he's doing that, he's going to start breaking him down. As he's doing that, he's going to start overwhelming the likes of Crawford. I expect between rounds 4 through 7, there may be an opportunity for Canelo Alvarez to actually drop or at least wobble the likes of Crawford as he's trying to get out of the ropes, get out of the corner, and keep angling. But again, I don't see a stoppage. Heading in rounds 8 and 9, that's where the fatigue sets in, right? Especially for Canelo. Canelo has a hard time, especially halfway through round 8, definitely by round 9, his stamina takes a drop. His power's still there, but he'll take a drop in stamina. And then on the back half, 10, 11, and 12, we'll see these two men begin to split the rounds evenly. But I'll have it 10-12 going to Crawford to kind of get back from at least getting dropped. And again, heading into a draw at the end of this fight. Now, if it goes 115-113, right, or a very close decision, the other part of this, outside of the skill set, outside of both fighters have multiple ways they can win this fight. Can't see either one of these fighters losing. There's the business of boxing. If a fight's that close, I can see the business of boxing doing what the business of boxing does best, and that's taking care of the business of boxing, making sure the revenue stream is protected. Canelo Alvarez is the face of boxing. They invested over $100+ million in this man for multiple fight deals. They don't want to see that go away, especially to a close decision if they can control it. They definitely don't want to see him get whitewashed, 8-4 or nothing like that. But if it's close enough, you can see the business of boxing kind of taking care of things with his two revenue streams, protecting that, giving us that draw, pushing us forward to that already rumored rematch, Cinco de Mayo 2026, or pushing both of these fighters to equal opportunities, unscathed, for a Bivol rematch for the likes of Canelo Alvarez, which Bivol will be free 2026, coming off that back injury, and then the likes of Terrence Bud Crawford dropping back down in weight to take on the likes of Boots Ennis, or I should say the winner of Boots Ennis, Virgil Ortiz, and obviously there's the Crawford Thurman, Thurman Sebastian Fundora winner as well. With that said, the business of boxing is going to take care of themselves. If it's too close, it's really hard to call. And don't get me wrong, the judge is going to have a hard time scoring this one. There's too many ways to win it, too many sides of this thing. Both fans and judges, they like different things, and they're going to see a mixed display of boxing that night. It's going to be whatever suits your need. When you have this kind of fight that we're about to see, a rarity at that. Majority of the time, these kind of fights end up in a draw or a very tight, close decision victory, sometimes controversial. But based on that, and based on the fact that I expect the business boxing to take care of this revenue stream, I do expect the draw. I bet the draw. I see the draw, and that's what we're rocking with, right? That's our final prediction on this thing. More importantly, outside of all that what we just said, I just really cannot see either fighter losing this one. Too many ways to win, man. It's too many ways to win. Both fighters are focused. Both fighters are ready to go. Yeah, Canelo is juiced. He says he's juiced. Explain juiced up on this one. Are you talking about is he's on the steroids or he's just like pumped up for this? If you're saying he's pumped up, I agree. I think he is pumped up for this fight. I think he looks ready to go. He came out in the black wife beater. I don't think I can't remember last time I seen Canelo walk out in a wife beater like that. If that's still the name of him, the tank top, I guess. If that's probably the real PC name for it now. He got a new hamburger for it. I know where you're going. Hey, they tainted meat. Tainted meat. I hope not, man. I hope that camp, by the way, has suffered a lot of allegations over the years, and they're doing themselves no justice. Everybody that goes over there to work out pops for something. They pop for something. Jaime Munguia somehow got out of his just recently. Tainted supplements. I mean, at some point, how does everybody, I guess but Andy Ruiz, who's worked out over there, pop? So I really hope it's clean and on the up and up. I hope it's clean on the up and up. But who knows what's going on over there? I'm just going to say Canelo's ready to go. I think he looks good. He looks ready to go. He looks strong. He looked good at the press conference. I keep on saying interview. I mean, I guess it is an interview, but he looked good at the press conference. Yeah, Bud looked ready. Bud looked strong. Bud, he looked like he's ready to fight as well, like tomorrow. I'm interested to see what the weigh-ins look like. I'm interested to see them stare off again. They both look focused, real respectful tonight on the final interview, or god dang, final press conference. I'm excited to see what these two men do. You said, what combination gets Bud, Canelo down? I don't think either one of them get down in this fight, but I think Bud's gonna stick with the jab, the straight 1-2, meat and potatoes all night. He's going to do a lot of it. He's going to do a lot of it. Stab, jab to the body. Depending on what stance he's going to fight out. I think everybody's assuming he's going to fight out of the southpaw, but he might mix it up and come straight orthodox to throw off Canelo early on, especially since he brought in that boots in his work. I just, who knows? Like we said earlier, I still see this thing a draw because there's so many ways these two brothers, they can fight. They're both smart, ring IQ's high. It's going to be all over the place. But with that said, as far as combinations they got going on, I think Bud's going to stick with the straight meat potatoes, 1-2, probably southpaw stance, stab jab to the body with that right overhand left, especially when Canelo drops his hands to reset or try to counter, try to stay within there. I think Bud's going to surprise us. I think he's going to try to fight out of the pocket a little bit more. Watch what Shakur Stevenson did to the likes of William Zepeda. No, yes, I already know Canelo's no William Zepeda, but I'm saying there's things to learn how that was done. Hey, what's going on, LaShawn Bowes? He said from Michigan. Hey, Jermaine Franklin. Hey, by the way, speaking of Jermaine Franklin, I put some money on him. I like Jermaine. I think he can actually win this fight, and I actually got him stopping old boy. I know old boy's got 14 victories. I'm sorry, 15 victories, 14 knockouts, or whatever, but he hasn't been on that level yet. I think Jermaine Franklin's only lost to the best, who was that, Anthony Joshua, and the older version of Dillian White. I mean, the original version of Dillian White. Shout out to Jermaine Franklin for heavyweight from the U.S. And on top of that, I didn't like Max Kellerman's disrespect tonight. If y'all watched that interview, he was talking about, somebody asked him about a question about where's going to be the next surge of heavyweights. And he basically, somebody's basically asked him, will the U.S. get some more resurgent heavyweights? This was right after Jermaine Franklin just spoke. And Max said, pretty much, I mean, we all know, most of our best talent in the U.S. go over to the NFL, right? Our biggest, strongest people, right? He said he doesn't see the U.S. have any more resurgence of good heavyweights, blah, blah, blah. And the resurgence will probably be still over in Europe, and you name it. I took that as disrespect because Jermaine Franklin was just right there and said he's ready to go and fight this man. Jermaine Franklin's only lost to two people, period, and two of the best that done it. At least in the heavyweight division, nothing, to hang your head low on. And he's never been stopped like these guys. He took them all 12. He's a good fighter. Not top 10, but he's definitely good. But anyways, I put some on your boy Jermaine Franklin. Shout out to you, Deshaun. Hit that like button. It's free. Comment below. Subscribe if you got some time. We're going to rock out for a few minutes. Like I said, it's going to be a short live. We're just hopping in, rocking out. Before we do step away, like I said, we got the draw. We bet that for Crawford, Canelo, or should I say Canelo, Crawford. That's how we see it. That's how it's going, in our opinion. It's just too close. I know the draw is rare. I know how rare the draw is. But the last time I bet it, I hit. And on that one, I was just kind of like a little safety bet. I could see it, but not like I could see this one. And although it's still a rare bet, or still a real choice, I should say, it's just something about how this fight is set up, the business behind it, how everything's looking, the skill set that we're about to see. It's just too many ways for these fighters to win. I'm just still rocking with that draw. But without that, the backup plan is obviously, if you've been checking the odds, the decision victory is where it's at, and a lot of people are picking Canelo. I got it 60-40 favorite, Canelo Alvarez over Terrence Bud Crawford in terms of just probabilities to win the fight. Crawford stands a really good chance to make history and be 3 times undisputed if he fights discipline, fights strong to the game plan, and leaves no stone unturned on Saturday. But again, with that said, I'm rocking with the draw. I'm staying with the draw. Try to convince me out of it, you can, but that's where I'm at. With that said, last thing I'm going to go over real quick. We said we're going to do it. Quick resume check. Power punchers that both of these men have faced. Now, if you checked out the resume of both Crawford and Canelo, one thing that's going to stand out is activity. Canelo pretty much has twice the amount of fights over the 6-year span than what Crawford has. Crawford, looking at it right now, he's got 7, and that's about right. Canelo has dang near 14 almost. But averaging out what they've done, the reason we're picking this out, because I like to look at who you have faced, not who you have knocked out. Because a lot of times people get mixed up because somebody can knock somebody out and they got all this punching power. Yeah, that's good. But has anybody really hit them? So you don't know how good a person is until they get hit. Ask Anthony AJ Joshua. I still think he's a good heavyweight. But we didn't know anything about him until he got clipped. And he got clipped by Andy Ruiz. You got to understand who has been punching him. So at their weights, looking at them real quick, over the last few fights since 2019, Crawford's people has faced about a 68% knockout ratio. That's pretty decent right there. 68% knockout ratio of the people he's faced. That's their punching ability. They've been knocking things out. Same thing for Canelo Alvarez, sitting about right around 66%, rounding up. 66% for the likes of Canelo Alvarez. So 2% difference in knockout ratios of the opposition that these guys have faced. Why are we focused on that? To me, that speaks on the chin. Now, some people are probably looking at, basic math, like, damn, both that's below 70%. In boxing, that's actually pretty good. An average of 60% or higher, that's really good. You're really sleeping. Like, that's really good based on opposition, especially for Canelo Alvarez, as many people he's faced. And Crawford, same thing. I mean, it's not as many people, not as active, but the people he has faced, they've been punching. They're doing some punching. That means it speaks to the chins of both of these guys, hence further pushing the case. I can't see one of these guys getting knocked out. So they're similar on the knockout ratio, but there is that one difference of weight, right? So we already know basic math. Canelo's the heavier fighter, right? Bigger fighter. Fighting the bigger opposition, so you would expect he's been getting hit harder. That's like saying Jermaine Franklin might have fought guys on average of 66%, but those are heavyweights. And you wanted Canelo stepped up to heavyweight, probably getting stopped because these are some big boys. They're doing some punching. So it's not one for one, tomato, tomato, but for right now, we're going to use it as the fact that in their weight class, their pounds, they've been fighting guys who've been punching in their weight. But more importantly, let's get to the skill set. Both men are pretty much equal on this. 97% win ratio for the likes of Canelo Alvarez, meaning his opposition has on the average, 90% win to lose ratio. Either they're undefeated or probably have one loss or so in their career. Same thing for Crawford. 96% win ratio for his end. High caliber fighters who don't know how to lose. Hey, Brad Wilson, what's going on? Hit that like button. It's free. Comment below. Subscribe if you got the time. We're just breaking down the resume, overall average resume. We're not going everybody for both fighters. And the reason we're hitting on that is because we picked the draw. If you just tuned in, we picked the draw, and we're trying to get you to understand why. The chin ratio for both of these guys look to be equal, at least for the opposition that they have faced within their weight class. Hey, Diego, you said you don't watch boxing much, but my money is on Canelo from the videos I've seen in their fights. Hey, it's not a bad bet, Diego. I'm rocking with the draw, and based on the things I've seen, and that's why this fight is going to be so good. So many people can see so many different ways to win and different styles from both fighters. And honestly, any choice you make is honestly going to be a good one if you at least did your research and study what was going on. Canelo is the favorite, by the way. He should be the favorite, better be the favorite. He's the bigger fighter. It's his division. He's undisputed. Crawford's jumping up, trying to do something that really hasn't been done. So history And the data behind it says Canelo should be the favorite. So that's not a bad bet, Diego, um, at all. And honestly, anybody that picks Crawford, he also stands a really good chance. I got it 60-40, really good chance to win this fight. Daring to be great, daring to step out, daring to be a legend. But again, I'm rocking with the draw based on a couple of things I've seen. Too many tools for both fighters. But let's get back to this resume. Again, average 66, 67% knockout ratio. That's what they face. So the chins of both fighters are good. 96, 97% win ratio, meaning these guys they've been fighting have been winning, either undefeated or 1 or 2 losses in their entire career when they faced them. This speaks to the level of fighters that we're about to see. This speaks to the chins of the fighters we're about to see. Again, I don't see either fighter get knocked out. I see it going all 12 regardless. We're about to see a high IQ fight. We got to put some respect on Canelo's name. Put some respect on Terrence Bud Crawford's name. They're more than just power. They're more than just, dog mentality. These are top tier, pound for pound, high caliber IQ fighters we are about to see September 13th, 2025. And it's going to be a good war, a good fight, and a good chess match. And shout out to Diego, what you're saying there. Yeah, it's going to be a gritty fight. They don't want to go, period. No one wants to lose. Canelo surely doesn't want to lose to the smaller man. Crawford doesn't want to lose. He wants to be great. He's never lost in his career, never really been close to losing, and he doesn't want to feel that again. The only time he's lost was in the amateurs. He lost about 12 times in the amateurs trying to build himself up and build his career. He got to the pros and was, bent on perfection and bent on growing every day. So he doesn't want to get a setback. He don't want to taste no defeat. Canelo doesn't want to taste defeat again. He wants to remain the face of boxing, show why he's undisputed, especially on Mexican Independence Weekend. Both men left no stone unturned in that training. You can see it. Both look ready. Both look physically prepared. Both look focused and dialed in. And I'll hit on something real quick. I don't think I've ever seen Canelo Alvarez look this into a fight. Probably not since he first stepped into the 168-pound division, when he first set on that quest to become undisputed. I think he kind of got bored with boxing. He was just trying different things. Even when he fought Bivol, he was there, but he really wasn't there. He was just set on that. And seeing where he is now, seeing how he's looking, seeing how he's looking at this other man trying to be great, jumping up to fight him, and challenge him for greatness. You see this other beast just came out of Canelo. He looks happy. He looks jovial. He looks ready to fight. He looks excited for this challenge and looks up for the test. But we'll see how it goes. Hey, Drizzy, I got it draw, brother. I got it draw. I don't see either fighter getting stopped too much hard. Like we just broke down their knockout ratios that they face, right? 67, 66%. Bud's faced the higher caliber as far as knockout by 1%, so no big deal. Meaning the chins of both of these fighters are there. The heart of both of these fighters are there. So I just can't see either one get knocked out, my brother. I can't see it yet. And then they both face high caliber fighters within their weight classes as far as their caliber wins. Now, Canelo Alvarez obviously has the bigger names, the sexier names on his list. But when you were Crawford, and let's hit on this before we get out, Crawford had to take that long road. He got blackballed, so he had to fight who he could fight. But the skills are still there. He wasn't the biggest talker. He isn't a big face of boxing. He didn't get all the glamour. He's not made for TV in terms of just, the gift of gab. And you can see it tonight on the press conference. But what he is a fighter, and the skills pay the bill, and everybody had to pay attention to him eventually when he was in there smacking stuff, in there knocking guys out, in there putting them down and challenging them. Like, who is this guy who can't, really speak too well in front of cameras, but he's in here showing out in the ring. So Bud's skills paid the bills and got him to where he is today. Same thing for Canelo Alvarez. He just happened to also have the gift of gab, the look, so that naturally turned him into the face of boxing. Which got him some of the better fights, the bigger money fights, some of the sexier names. That's why his resume looks the way it does with some of the names he got. But you can look at some of these guys, you can pick them apart. I mean, we can do that real quick on just about anybody, right? For anybody's list. Let's start with Canelo. Edgar Berlanga just got stopped by Hamza Shiraz. Canelo couldn't stop him. William Skoll did a track meet. Who was William Skoll before he even fought him, right? Danny Jacobs, at the time, Danny had moved up in weight and just got there to him. Could kind of get with that. Sergey Kovalev had just fought literally, 2 months prior to taking Canelo. They caught him at the right time. He was worn out anyways and drunk. Callum Smith, good win. Yildirim, I know a lot of people don't like him, actually a decent win. Billy Joe Saunders, he brought up a smaller man. Caleb Plant, good win. Gennady Golovkin, some people thought he lost that first one. I didn't. I actually scored it for Canelo to win all those fights. But it goes back and forth, tit for tat. John Ryder, who the hell was John Ryder when he fought him? Jermell Charlo, smaller guy, just like 154, just like Crawford, which a lot of people were trying to compare him to. Moved up in weight, danced around. Canelo couldn't stop him. Jaime Munguia got knocked out by a guy who only had 5 knockouts in his career. You see how I can easily just tear apart anybody's resume, but if you go back and read those names I just read, they're actually good fighters. They're actually good names, right? Canelo has a solid resume, in my opinion. And the guys he beat when he beat them were good. There's some hit or misses in there, but he in my opinion, did a good job. And he faced some good opposition and shows his skill level. Same thing for Crawford. Crawford took on Madrimov. A lot of people thought it was too close of a fight. Who was Madrimov when he fought him? He's a top contender, by the way. And look at Boots Ennis, who he's fighting for his first move up to 154. There's levels to this. Amir Khan. Both of these men fought Amir Khan, but Amir Khan's chinny and had already lost to Canelo by then. Green Machine. Now, Green Machine was a good win. Kell Brook, good win, but also had already lost to the likes of Errol Spence and Gennady Golovkin, for that matter. Was he damaged goods? Sean Porter, good win, but already lost to Earl. Avanesian, decent win, not well known. Errol the True Spence, car crash. People are going to break that victory down. But if you look at those names I just said again, you really can't say none of those aren't good wins, especially when you look at the win ratio being 96% with a 67% knockout ratio. So when you start looking at the data and just not the names, you can see both of these fighters have good resumes, strong resumes. They fought punchers. They fought guys who were at the top of their game. Not the sexiest names all the way around. At least Canelo does have some of the better names. But when you look at the data, look at what they fought over the last, at least since 2019. Both of these men are at the top of their game. That's why I'm really going with the draw. When you look at a 67% knockout ratio is what they faced, that's what they're getting hit with. Their chins are getting tested. These are the guys they've been beating. That means both of these men got a chin on them, or at least know how to not get hit. Can't see the knockout. But this is boxing, and anybody can get stopped. So for those who are betting on, like my man Drizzy, betting on Bud to knock him out, it's possible. It's possible. And if he does that, Bud's going in top 10 to ever do it, period. But overall, I do see it going all 12, just based on the skill set, based on the resume. Like, we just broke it down real quick. Based on the resume I've seen, based on the win percentages I've seen, too many tools in the bag for both of these fighters, man. Hit that like button. It's free. Comment below, subscribe if you got the time. It's your boy Cash Ropes Sunday Podcast. We're going to rock out for a couple more minutes, then we're going to call it. But like we said earlier, we got it a draw. Too many ways for either one of these fighters to win. We just quickly walk through their resumes. 67% average knockout ratio, you name it, for either fighter. Good chins, or at least know how to not get hit. And speaking of good chins, Canelo has a good chin, but he also knows how to not get hit himself. He rolls with these punches. He's got good head movement. And I think Crawford's going to have a little tricky time trying to touch Canelo, especially in the middle of this fight. Win ratios. Both fighters have been fighting good competition. Like, this is an even, I mean, we just broke it down. Crawford has he's fought 67%, if you want to round it up, 68% KO ratio of the guys he's faced, and 95%, 96% win ratio. Canelo, 66% knockout ratio, so 1% less, and then 97%, 1% higher on the win ratio. That's how even this fight is. This is how great these fighters is. This is how great of a time it is to have this fight. And again, I'm still rocking with the draw. I gotta get somebody to convince me though. Somebody, no one's convinced me yet to get up off that risky, that low rare chance of a probability. But we're in a rare time right now. This is a rare fight. This is a rare fight. 2 pound for pound Hall of Famers getting it on. Near their primes. They're not in their primes, but they're close to it. They're not shot yet, right? They're not. You're not. Their primes aren't all the way gone. They're still good. They're still top tier. They're both still clearly pound for pounds. And too many ways to win. The styles that they're going to implement, they're going to clash very well. How can Bud stop Canelo? It's gonna be tough. I can't see it. You already know I said I can't see either fighter getting stopped. Can't see either fighter getting stopped. But if he was, I actually did a video on it. He's got to get active. He's got to stay active with high stamina, especially towards the back half of this fight, starting in the half of round 8. Halfway through round 8, he's got to pick it up an extra notch because that's when Canelo starts to taper down. Rounds 8 and 9, check any Canelo fight out. The power's still there, but his stamina starts to drop dramatically, especially in round 9. If he keeps his foot on the pedal, keeps his foot on the neck of Canelo Alvarez, he could probably stop him by TKO stoppage, meaning unanswered shots if he can overwhelm him some kind of way. But I just can't see a knockout, man. That's tough. But if he is to do it, he's got to be active, punches and bunches, and really break the will, break the heart, really test that cardio of Canelo Alvarez on the back half. It'll be a very late TKO stoppage if he can do it. Brawl, you said Canelo wins at 168, Crawford wins at 147. True. And I think actually Crawford wins at any weight between 160, 154, 147 for sure against Canelo, because Canelo hasn't dropped down to that kind of weight in so long it would drain him too hard. And it's actually harder to really drop that kind of weight than actually go up and gain the weight. The McLovin says he's getting knocked out. It's boxing, anything can happen. Anything can happen. Yep, Plant was stopped in 10. I said the power's still there. The power of Canelo's still there. His power never goes away. So he can stop you late. His output is what goes down. And that's what Crawford's gonna have to play on. Overpower him. And by the way, Plant has to be the only fighter with worse stamina than Canelo, and that's hard to do because Plant just got beat again very late. And actually, he was getting rocked around by McCumbee pretty early because the dude's gas tank, and he looks so healthy, looks so in shape. I don't know what's going on with Plant, but his stamina was atrocious. But yeah, he got stopped late in that fight because he tired out. Got clipped hard. Yep. I'm telling you, he goes down, and that's a good stat. And Mayweather's a freak of nature, by the way, for that stat you just gave. Mayweather never gets tired. Output's amazing. And that was a young Canelo at that. He just didn't know what to do. He kind of lost it after that. He was getting schooled, got a good old-fashioned boxing lesson from Floyd Money Mayweather. So, but again, he drops dramatically. Even in the Gennady fight, that was probably his best stamina he had because he had to do it because Gennady was not letting off of him. But even in that fight, he kind of tapered off and had to really rely on his head movement and trying to counter, like real hard. Oh yeah, Mayweather's the kind of guy that should have been in the 15 round era, because that's how he trains. Like he doesn't train for a 12er. He trains for 15, 20 rounds. Yep, bro, you're 100% right on. He was in his prime. That Billy Joe Saunders fight when he broke that orbital socket, that was a nasty Canelo. He was getting in his bag. That counter was vicious. And Crawford's got to pay attention. I'm glad you brought up Billy Joe Saunders. While Crawford's trying to implement the jab, and he's going down, especially he's going to go down low to that body stab jab, he's got to be careful from that counter hook and the counter uppercut from Canelo Alvarez. It's exactly what rocked these. It was really uppercut, but that orbital socket that got broke by Billy Joe, it was from that. It was really about that. He said Bud starts off too fast. I don't think he's going to start off fast. I think Bud's going to manage his energy to see how he does with this new weight. And mind you not, we're talking about new weight for Bud. This is his walk around weight. This is how he lives his life. This is his normal. If you caught him in the street outside of a fight camp, this is probably how he normally looks. So for him, I think what he's going to do is still manage it to see how he feels. But once he feels comfortable, he'll start letting off in that back half. But what he will do is manage the first half of that fight, rounds 1 through 3. He's going to box smart, stay tight, stay disciplined. Stay disciplined. He's taken a couple shots. Nothing that should have knocked him out or anything, but he's taking some good shots, especially when he goes into dog mode. He gets clipped, he gets reckless, and that's why he needs to stay really disciplined throughout this fight. See if I missed anything. Yeah. Green Machine caught him clean. If you're looking at if you're talking about Crawford, Crawford got caught by Green Machine, Gamboa. He got caught clean by Porter a little early. Nothing nasty, like hard. I think the hardest person to hit him was Gamboa. And then Green Machine caught him pretty clear, too. Everybody argued if that was a knockdown or not. I believe that was the 4th or 5th round. I can't even remember. You said, bro, you said, what do I think of the hundreds of controversies? Man, Billy Joe. Billy Joe's a clown. Every day is something with him. And even throughout his whole career, I've never really liked him. I didn't really like him as a boxer. And I definitely didn't like him as like an individual. Don't know him personally or anything, but just how he portrayed himself and all the stuff he's been in. Never really liked Billy Joe like that. Yeah. By the way, for all those, I don't talk anything political on here. We got different channels for that. So we talking boxing. If it's not boxing, then I'm probably not going to address it. And even if it's a boxing true controversy, I don't go too deep into personal lives either for certain things. So again, this is boxing channel. That's what we talk. So if I skipped over something you said, it's for that reason. Got to find a different channel for that. We talking straight boxing. We got a big night of boxing coming September 13, 2025. Salute to the likes of Canelo Alvarez and the likes of Terrence Bud Crawford giving us this show. Shout out to Turkey Al Sheikh. Shout out to Riyadh Season. Shout out to Netflix. Dana White caught some heat, by the way, throughout that for trying to change the Muhammad Ali Act. We'll actually do a different video about that. A thorough breakdown of what he's trying to do to change the game. Yep, he did, by the way. He wrecked Gamboa. When he woke up, he was playing around. And I think Crawford knows. And when he did the interview, he even said he walked into that shot because he was just being reckless. But Crawford has had time to get woken up in this fight. Because if he gets hit with a shot like what Gamboa did in the Canelo fight, the next time he's waking up, it will be, and still, champion and undisputed Canelo Alvarez, because he can't afford that kind of shot from a hard hitter like that. He said, yeah, he was. Billy Joe was a good boxer, man. I just didn't like him. Not my cup of tea. Not my cup of tea. Yeah, Floyd. I mean, there's levels though. Floyd and Billy Joe. Yeah, Floyd isn't much of a great character himself, but between him and Billy Joe, it's like, yeah, this. Billy Joe said, "Hold my beer while I go show you who's the real bad guy." Almost like Conor McGregor. So much stuff around him. And speaking of that, speaking of bad guys, Dana White, by the way, I'm not too fond of him. I know he's a quote unquote good promoter and good businessman. And I hope he does help push the sport of boxing and everything. But he too has a lot of controversies around him. I don't like a lot of things he does either. I probably did. Hit that like button. It's free. Comment below. Subscribe. We're rocking out tonight. Impromptu, real quick. What is that? We got a couple more minutes until we rock out this thing, but we appreciate that love y'all been showing us tonight. We rocking out. We will be live for the live fight chat. We'll have the scorecards live, so we're one of the few channels that do this. Come fight night. We'll do live commentary, just like you see other people do the live commentary. But we'll actually have our scorecards up and everything. Scoring it live so you can see truly how it's going blow by blow while the fight's going on. We can all watch it with Netflix this time. No pay-per-view. Shout out to Netflix. We'll have the live scorecards going Saturday, so rock in with us. Subscribe if you got the time. We'll be rocking out all the way for that event, at least catching some of the major undercards, probably the first, at least the last 2 or 3, and then obviously the main event. John, I've got a draw between both. I can't see other fighter winning this thing. Appreciate that, Dar. Appreciate that. Yeah, appreciate that love. Yeah, subscribe if y'all got the time. Appreciate that. Hit that like button. It's free. Comment below. Subscription's free too. Appreciate y'all rocking out. One of the fastest growing channels out here for this year. Getting it going real well. You said 12? I wish. Unless you're talking to John. Hit that like button. It's free. Comment below. Subscribe if you got the time. We love boxing. We talk boxing. This is a hobby for us. We're going to rock out for a few more minutes, but while we do that, oh, you got him by knockout round 8, John? Okay. Okay. By 8. I did say if anybody gets knocked out, Canelo will be the one doing the knocking out. I don't think he's a bigger man. I mean, logically, come on, he's a bigger guy. But again, I'm still rocking with that draw, man. It's too many ways to win for both fighters. Hard to lose. The chins, right? So you said knockout round 8. Looking at both fighters, like we said, and we're going to recap this real quick. Sorry for my friends that's been rocking out and already heard this, but we went over the resumes real quick since 2019 for both fighters. Canelo Alvarez has obviously been the more active fighter. But with this activity of both men since 2019, they both faced close opposition in knockout power, meaning 67% knockout ratio. That's really good, meaning both of these men either have a chin or it's hard to hit these men. And then win ratios about 96, 97%, meaning they're facing that top competition. That means the guys they've been facing either undefeated or only have 1 loss. With that said, I just can't see these fighters, it reimburses that they both got a chin or at least know how to get out the way. Canelo definitely has both. Crawford, we're going to see. He definitely knows how to get out the way. We're going to see if he can take a good shot from Canelo. But more importantly, skills pay the bills. Both of these guys have been fighting top competition. I just can't see it, man. The skills, the skill set, the skill set, the skill set, the skill set. They're evenly matched when you look at the resume. 95, 96%, 67% for knockout. The type of fighters they fought, up and down. You can break down the resumes. It's just, we're about to see something that's rare this weekend, a chess match between 2 current pound-for-pound champions. Yeah, Tyson Fury was always a liar, and he's been cheating his boy Joseph Parker out of that Usyk fight for years. Evan Pittman's got all money on Crawford. Salute, salute, salute. Crawford stands a good chance. I still got a 60-40 favorite Canelo. I think it goes all 12. I still got it a draw at all 12. But if it does go not the minded way of the draw, I know it's rare. I see it 115, 113 favorite of whoever takes that decision. I do personally favor Crawford as the pure boxer to take the decision. But logically, I still rate, if you just said pick a person to win 60-40 favorite Canelo, that's an honest opinion too. Jumping up 2 weight classes unheard of, doing what he's got to do to get this man Canelo pound for pound. It's a lot of obstacles in the way, but that doesn't mean I'm picking either side to win on that. Like I said, I can't see either one of these guys winning. Both tight, both skilled. Skills pay the bills. John says Crawford's going to seat, lacks defensive skills, and gets hit too easily. I think we're going to see Crawford lock in on this one, John. I think a lot of times he hasn't respected some of the guys he was facing, especially at the lower weight class. I think he knows what he's up against. I think we're going to see Crawford fight. Probably the best defensive fight we've seen him do. Almost like a Shakur Stevenson. I hate to even compare them because I know they're by the way, they're stablemates. He's his mentor and all that. And shout out to Shakur Stevenson, to me, one of the best talented fighters, period, out right now. I just wish his hands were a little stronger. But watching what Shakur Stevenson did to William Zepeda, a guy that's known for punching and decent power, I could see Crawford taking some lessons even from that young man of how you can still swim without getting wet, fight in the pocket, move around, especially against a stronger fighter. It's similar to what Floyd did as well to Canelo. Canelo was strong back then. Green, not the best version of Canelo, but he was still strong. He showed you how you can work around that strength, fight in the pocket, and still stay defensively responsible to beat a man that's just as good as you by skill set, but more importantly, who has the higher strength, or better strength, I should say. He said Canelo will win by knockout. Brawley Turkey Out Sheik is paying big bonus. Yeah, he is, but I mean, he's already paid. Well, it's like $1 million bonus. That's nothing to Canelo. Canelo's going to come in and fight to win. If the knockout presents itself, he'll take it. If it doesn't, he'll try to go for a clear decision victory and deliver punishment on the way out. Over 100 million plus for this fight, and his contract is heavy. He announced that tonight and made sure it was clear that he let everybody know he's paying Canelo well over 100 million. Canelo's gonna mess around and be a billionaire when he's done. Salute to that man. I support anybody getting their money, and Crawford too. Crawford's getting a good bag for this too. So salute to these guys getting the money they deserve. I wish I could get a piece of that. Yeah, it's definitely nothing about race. I mean, I know it's Mexican independent, so shout out to the Mexican community, the supporters of Canelo. Definitely had that pride for that weekend, but let's leave it at pride, right? Let's leave it at support your person. Let's not turn this thing into a race back and forth. It's actually a good thing to have as far as competition. You can see it in certain areas, especially out like in Texas, California, black and brown. They have little competitions like that, different sports, different things that they do. But usually it's in good spirit. You always have those few people that try to make it out to be more than what it is. But man, black and brown always get along, especially areas that I've been in. And even when it's competitive for things like that, work well together. And that's how it's supposed to be. That's the U.S. period. It's how it's really supposed to be. I know we weren't supposed to talk political things, and then this ain't actually political. This is more of talking about the culture of boxing, and the culture of boxing is supposed to bring multiple backgrounds together to support their fighters, even no matter what race it is. And then you compete, see who's the better fighter. We all congratulate, talk, communicate, trade stories, and help continue to grow the sport as one. And that's really the ideal of boxing. That's why boxing is the #1 sport, period. Yeah, Floyd was the master of defense, John, for sure. Rarely got hit. I'm not saying he's going to be as good as Floyd. I think he can take a few things um, and probably worked on a few things in camp, similar to what Floyd had and similar to what Shakur Stevenson's current day is working on, and try to work that into the fight and be the best defensively sound version of Terrence Bud Crawford that he can be. Yeah, it's nasty. That contract, well over 400. I think it's over. I think it's about 5. It's a net, especially. I mean, it all depends on how this fight goes, right? So, some of you who didn't hear why I picked the draw earlier, hey, Katarina, salute to you. Salute to Greece. Um, Yeah, that's true. You're right, Brawley. Just reading the other one. Yeah, a piece of that money, it will change you forever, and sometimes it brings out the worst in people around you. You were right about that. Um, where are we going out with that? Dang, threw me off. I was saying something about the 500 million. Oh, I was saying it depends on how this fight goes, right? Obviously, Terrence Bud Crawford stands a good chance to derail all the big plans they have for Canelo. But Canelo's still the face of boxing. He's lost before, so he can take this loss and keep moving. I think he's got good plans to go get back with Bivol. Bivol free. He's not going to take that better be fight. He's resting off that back injury. Perfect healing time for Cinco de Mayo 2026. Maybe Canelo can go 2-time undisputed, 2 different weight classes. Or maybe we get that Benavidez fight finally. Who knows? There's options for Canelo, win, lose, or draw. But he can stand the weight, make well over $400, $500 million, but that depends on how this Crawford business goes. Which gets us back to that draw. If it's a close decision, as I'm thinking it's going to be, we get to that 12th and final round, right? I think it's going to be all 12 rounds. It's going to be a close fight. I can see the business of boxing doing what the business of boxing does best, and that's taking care of the business of boxing. Meaning taking care of your face of boxing and taking care of the guy that's also been loyal to the Riyadh season, the guy who stepped up to the plate to make this, fight happen as well, meaning Terrence Bud Crawford. A draw is a good way for the business of boxing to keep growing. You can have that rematch again with Canelo, Terrence Bud Crawford, make it even bigger based off a controversial draw next year, Cinco de Mayo, or push both fighters out on their own. Again, you can have Bivol, Canelo next year, Benavidez, Canelo, or Hamza Shiraz Canelo without a blemish, meaning the draw is there. Same thing for Crawford. If he's got 2 more fights left in him, go take on the likes of Boots Ennis, give us that fight that we've been wanting to see. If Boots can beat Virgil Ortiz early next year. Or go take on the winner, Sebastian Fundora, Keith One-Time Thurman. Errol Spence may be coming back. Really don't want to see it, though. But I would like to see Jermell Charlo. So they got to get some money back, right? They got to keep this revenue stream going. They spent well over about $150 million for this fight, period, just for this main event, right? And the best way for the business boxing to work is to make sure you protect the brand at all costs. You got to protect Canelo's brand. You got to protect Crawford's brand. Now, if they had to weigh one or the other, they're probably going to protect the Canelo brand because they're heavily invested. He's got probably more years left in the sport. But with all that said, you can kind of see how they've been maneuvering, seeing how they've been moving. There's something afoot, and you just read the room. I can see how this goes down, especially if it's close on the cards. And it still keep leading me back to that good old-fashioned draw, on top of the skill set that both of these fighters have. You said Bivol Benavidez would be good. Yes. I would like to see both of those rematches. Well, rematch for Bivol and then fight Benavidez. Hamza would be a problem. He might still be a little green, even though he just got to 168. But he's green overall, hasn't had a lot of fights, period. And it has suffered a lot of adversity yet. I think he lost to Carlos Adames. I think they robbed him, who got a draw, because it was a close fight. And they protected the brand. But anyways, Canelo fought Bivol with an injured hand. Yes, he did. He actually had surgery right after that to fix everything, and he's back strong. So I would like to see how that goes, but it's going to take more than a fixed hand to beat Bivol. Bivol's a good fighter and bigger than Canelo. But I think Canelo has the ring IQ, footwork, precision to actually beat the likes of Bivol in a go around again. He said because he had Boots in his camp, you think Crawford avoided Boots. Boots is younger. No, they actually sent the offer to Boots. Boots didn't want that scrap with Crawford at 154 at that, or 147 when he had it. Now I get it. Crawford did move up from 147 because he thought he was going to get the Errol Spence fight again, that rematch. He was trying to hold out for that. Then moved up to 154. Try to get Boots. So it was a little bit bad timing on each side. But I don't think Crawford avoided Boots. And the fact of having Boots in Canelo's corner, I think it is a good thing. If you want to emulate Crawford, that's good. But they are two different fighters. Even though they can switch, watch how they fight totally different. Only thing I can kind of say that's similar outside the stance is both of them get a little reckless with their defense. That's why I really need Crawford to be tight and disciplined with his defense this go around. Anyways, hit that like button. It's free. Comment below and subscribe. We're about to rock out. We'll go about another minute. We're going to get up out of here. We've been on for about an hour, unplanned hour at that. But we definitely appreciate the love. We will be back on tomorrow, another live chat. And then obviously we'll be back for the live commentary, live fight chat. Saturday, we'll have the live scorecards up while Netflix is running. We'll score it live and everything. We can all watch it together. And, well, hopefully you have Netflix. But if you don't, then we'll just call and commentate it for you. But we'll have it live and direct, live scorecards, man. We appreciate that. We got a few more minutes. I'm getting a call, but we'll rock out another couple more minutes, probably. You said Canelo fought Bivol with a hand. Crawford, 200. Yeah, I saw the other undefeated Olympians in there. I forgot the young guy's name, who's just coming up too, I believe. Not from 154, but coming up at 160, I thought. Good, strong potential too. The guys he had in camp were young, and I think that's also why you see Canelo look so jovial and young in this camp. Yeah, Wilder losing to Fury. I was sad. I actually went to the first fight live. It was there for the Tyson Fury. I actually scored it for Deontay. Actually, to me, won the first fight, not just because of the knockout, which should have been a knockout, but he actually won with the two knockdowns. I gave him a couple other rounds, close, 115, 113. I scored it while sitting there live in the arena. But it is what it is. They gave it a what? A draw. Again, I'm trying to tell y'all guys. They gave that a draw. And then the second fight was just tragic. Tragic. I never seen a man get beat like that. I mean, I have, but that one just looked sad. It looked a little sad. Then excuses after made it even worse. Goodness gracious. Y'all, you're bringing back bad memories. But the third fight I did enjoy. That was the best fight. Wilder came back. Showed he could at least learn some things. He still bulked up a little too quick, in my opinion. That, by the way, Wilder showed you how not to gain weight. He gained it too quick, didn't work out with it as long as he needed to. Where on the other end, Crawford took a whole year to gain this weight, and more importantly, it's actually around his natural walk-around weight, so it wasn't as bad. He's just cutting muscle or gaining a little muscle and maintaining what he normally walks around at. Whereas Wilder gained a natural weight and muscle on top of that to add strength, which it did help get 2 more knockdowns in that third fight. But you can see he gassed out too quick and then got put down to sleep. Yeah, Usyk is a good one. Usyk, who I clearly had winning both of those fights with Fury, showed you if you move and punch the right angle, you can just about beat any man in the heavyweight division, at least, with good pop. Problem with Wilder is he didn't have he don't have the skill set. You know, we all know that he's not the best boxer. But I like him because he he wasn't the best boxer, but he walked in there and fought with tenacity, straight off of strength, straight off the muscle, and really he's your real man. Like any guy off the street, he's just a natural fighter, and really he was just your common man's fighter in the heavyweight division. That's why I really liked him, and he had a good story behind him too. But Usyk showed you true skills, why skills pay the bills. And I think that's what we're going to see September 13th, 2025. Give me 1 second. I don't know what happened there. All right, we back. But like we were saying earlier before we walked out, skills pay the bills, right? I think just want to see September 13th. Skills paying the bills from both sides, right? It's not just power. Of course, see Canelo Alvarez. I think we're going to see the best version of Canelo Alvarez in the last 6 years, 5 years or so. He looks good. He looks ready. He looks strong. He looks, I just can't explain it. You can tell when you look at somebody, they just look fresh. And that's what Canelo looked like. Fresh and ready and up for this one. I think he likes it. He's ready to handle business. And Crawford understands the task at hand. It's tough, especially when you got a dialed in Canelo. And they're both going to have to rely on their skill sets to carry them through. Says Sugar Ray Robinson come back fighting 10 times a month. We won't see that unless it's up and coming. You might see some up and coming guys do that. You know, trying to get their name known. Maybe fighting 4 or 5 times a year. Maybe 6. You see a couple guys kind of do that, get that record built up real quick, get something known. But top tier guys with the money that's on the line and all that, I think the most we'll see is what Canelo's doing, 2, maybe 3 times a year. Canelo's really showing the sport of boxing how you're supposed to fight. He's staying consistent, you know, at least 2 times a year. He even fought 3 times in 1 year. He's just showing you stay active, stay ready. But I hope we do get that. I hope we at least get 3 times, especially for the big name fighters, get them back to being more active. I know it costs some money, but it is what it is. Yep. 1 time every 2 years. That's crazy. Like all that 1 time every 2 years. That's the PBC stuff. And I love me some PBC, but they were big for that. Not getting their guys enough fights. Too big of a stable and all that. Yeah, now I think he's got 3 times this year already too. And he's fighting, and everybody's sleeping on that. He's fighting Sunday, which is crazy. And we really haven't covered it. It's getting overshadowed by this fight, but shout out to the monster, man. He's, I think he's still fighting Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. Shout out to Nawa, man. He's a real one, true fighter, true warrior. He's a man's man because he goes in there and fights and he gets clipped. And Nawa Inoue, I know it's gonna sound crazy. Nawa Inoue is the Japanese version of Terrence Bud Crawford. And the reason I say that is because if you watch how he fights, they're a little different, right? Obviously he doesn't switch and stuff. But the mentality they have, they just punch. They go in there and fight, they punch, punch. Nawa Inoue's been dropped a couple times now and does not care. As soon as he gets dropped, he gets back up and then he goes stops the other man. That mentality that they have, they are very similar fighters based on mentality and skills. They both are highly skilled fighters and punchers at that, especially both coming up from the lighter weight division. So, man. Yeah, Bam. I like me some Bam. I like me some Bam Rodriguez. It'll be a good fight. I don't see it. Um, it'll be a good fight. I'll definitely pay to see that. But yeah, now it'll probably be by stoppage again. I think he'll stop Bam. Bam gets hit a lot too. Hit that like button. It's free. Comment below. Subscribe if you got the time. We appreciate that love. We're rocking out for just a couple more minutes, and then we do have to call it. But like we said, if you just tuned in, we did call it a draw for Saturday. This thing just jumped out of nowhere. Saturday, September 13th. These two men, in our opinion, too many ways to win. I just can't see them losing. They're going to fight to the draw. They're going to make this thing happen and give us a beautiful night of boxing. I know the draw is rare, but either way, I see it going all 12. If anybody wins, it'll be by close decision, 115, 113. And all in all, we're going to see skills displayed and high ring IQ put together. I said imaginative stuff. Yeah, I just trying to see how it went between those two. I was trying to play it, and then either way, I just see the stoppage. Hit that like button. It's free. Comment below. Subscribe if you got the time. It's your boy Cash Rope Sunday Podcast. As we're getting ready to wrap it up here, we definitely appreciate everybody for rocking out. It's definitely been a good one. It's been a great one. And we can't wait. We'll rock out again tomorrow. Do a last call, especially after seeing the weigh-ins. And then it's fight night, Saturday, September 13th. We're rocking out live commentary. And we'll have the scorecards up for everybody and play it blow by blow, tit for tat. And we're going to see a great night of boxing. Appreciate everybody for rocking out. And yes, Stephen Fulton lost, moved up, looking good. Got a good fight coming up with a Shockey Foster. And I think that's going to be a good barn burner. I would like to see him get back with a new way at some point, if he can. And he's probably too big now, but he made a good, valiant effort and went over there and tried to prove that he's a real one, that he is. And he just ran up into a better fighter. Yeah, new way's crazy. Shakur new way, that would be a problem. I got Shakur. Too big, too skilled. But then again, heck, we're about to see Terrence Crawford and Canelo. Why not? Still could be a good one. But I think New Way leaves himself open a little bit too much for likes of Shakur. The only thing really helping that situation is Shakur doesn't have a lot of power. And his hands are really fragile. So it'll probably go all 12. Be an entertaining fight, though. Yeah, I can see that. He's too small. But with the right money, he could dare to be great. All right, we're getting ready to rock out of here. We appreciate all the love. Appreciate everybody's commentary broadly. I appreciate you for rocking out all night, keeping everything active here in the chat. Katarina, if you're still there, appreciate that love. John, appreciate that love. Irvin, appreciate you for rocking out. Dar, definitely appreciate you rocking out. Subscribe if y'all guys got the time. Hit that like, comment below, subscribe. Definitely appreciate everybody for rocking out. We rocked out for a little bit over an hour and some change. Definitely was a good one. Definitely impromptu. So definitely appreciate you guys for coming in here. McLovin, appreciate you rocking out earlier as well. But anyways, with that, appreciate you guys for coming out. Hey, Liam, appreciate you I know you just got here. We was about to get out. We've been on for a little while. But subscribe if you got the time, Liam. We got plenty of videos, plenty of content. You can play these back. And we played, we put a lot of predictions out already, broke down the cards and everything. So I really appreciate that love. But yeah, appreciate you rocking. Oh, appreciate that already, Liam. Most def, most love. All right, we out of here. Once again, check us out. We're back tomorrow. I think we're gonna make this a routine thing, by the way. At least do impromptus, maybe start 9, 10, you name it. Depending on what time it is or where I'm at in the world. But probably do night shows. And then obviously, you know, we're gonna be here for the fight anyways. So we'll get that thing going. Bud is always looking. See, y'all about to trick me into staying. Bud always, he's always uncomfortable. We started the show like that. I see why Bud's career went the way it did. He can get cringe around the cameras, like some of the things he says and how he moves. He's trying a little bit better, but he's not made for the cameras. Not for outside the ring. He's made for inside the ring cameras. You know what I'm saying? That's just not him. It's really not him. But he's been on this platform before. He's been here. The Spitz fight was huge. This is bigger, but this is not him. It's not him. And Usyk Moses, Usyk beats the likes of Moses. That's too early for the young man, but I like beats of Moses and Tomo. I think he needs to take a couple more fights, build into that thing, and get right. Yeah, he does. I think both guys, you can see it throughout the press conference. Both guys truly respect each other. Even Canelo came around and saying that he knows what time it is. You know what kind of fight this is. You can see the respect off of both of these men. They know they're both true fighters, true boxers, true warriors, and we're going to get an actual fight, not no running match. We're going to get an actual fight September 13th, a well-placed fight. I don't think we'll get a brawl because they're both too smart for that, but we're going to get a good, proper boxing match, a good, proper fight. All right, we're really out this time, though. We really appreciate that love, man. It's your boy, Cash Rebel Sunday Podcast. Until the next time, peace.